Hello everyone, welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. According to NHK, the U.S. Central Command, CENTCOM, announced on Thursday via social media that 3 U.S. aircraft carrier strike groups are currently deployed and operating in the Middle East region. Specifically, CENTCOM confirmed the USS George H.W. Bush aircraft carrier is sailing in the Indian Ocean within its area of responsibility. Separately, a U.S. aircraft carrier strike group, including the USS Gerald R. Ford, is already active in the Red Sea, while U.S. media outlets have reported that the USS Abraham Lincoln is engaged in blockade operations in the Arabian Sea. CENTCOM, which is responsible for military operations against Iran, stated that if the number of People-East aircraft carriers in the region increases to 3 as part of the U.S. response to Iran, it would signify increased pressure on the country. Furthermore, this deployment is expected to provide the U.S. with more military options, including the potential to strengthen its naval blockade. Israel's defense minister has announced the country's readiness to resume hostilities with Iran, contingent on receiving approval from the United States. In a video statement on Thursday, Defense Minister Israel Katz declared that the Israeli military is prepared for both defensive and offensive operations, with specific targets already identified. He emphasized that Israel's primary objective would be the elimination of the Khamenei dynasty, noting that former Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei was previously killed and his son has since been designated as his successor. Katz further stated that any renewed offensive would be different and deadly, delivering devastating blows in the most sensitive places, designed to shake and collapse Iran's foundations. This declaration follows a period where Israeli military actions against Iran had been halted, subsequent to a ceasefire agreement between the U.S. and Iran. NHK reports on this significant development in regional tensions. NPR reports that the Israel-Lebanon ceasefire has been extended by 3 weeks, as announced by President Trump. However, its fragility was immediately apparent as Hezbollah and Israel traded fire just hours later, following an Israeli airstrike that killed Lebanese journalist Amal Khalil. This extension is part of broader U.S. diplomatic efforts to maintain a ceasefire with Iran. Iran, however, deemed the U.S.'s indefinite ceasefire extension meaningless, demanding the lifting of a naval blockade on its ports to resume peace talks. Concurrently, tensions have sharply escalated in the crucial Strait of Hormuz. The U.S. military seized an Iranian oil tanker a day after Iran took control of 2 commercial ships. President Trump issued a warning ordering the Navy to shoot and kill any boat laying mines in the strait and pledging to triple mine-sweeping efforts. This disruption has already impacted global shipments of oil, helium, fertilizer, and aluminum, causing shortages and price increases. Separately, Pope Leo XIII urged the U.S. and Iran to return to the negotiating table. Advocating for a culture of peace, drone attacks also targeted Iranian Kurdish opposition bases in Iraq and Kuwait, further underscoring regional instability. Al Jazeera reports that Syrian authorities have arrested Amjad Youssef, identified as the main suspect in the 2013 Tadamon massacre in Damascus. The Interior Ministry stated that Youssef was apprehended in the Al-Gab plain, Hama, following a detailed security operation. He was an intelligence officer under former Syrian leader Bashar al-Assad and is accused of numerous crimes against civilians. A leaked video from 2022 showed Youssef shooting blindfolded and bound civilians, with at least 41 people killed in the April 2013 incident. After Assad's fall in December 2024, Youssef went into hiding. Syria's new government has launched a campaign to pursue former leadership figures, and citizens have initiated fundraising efforts to offer rewards for information leading to arrests. Several suspects of the Tadamon tragedy have reportedly been arrested and confessed to the killings. India and Russia have formalized their most significant defense agreement yet, the Reciprocal Exchange of Logistics Support, or RLOS. As reported by Al Jazeera, this pact, signed last year and operational since January 2026, allows each nation to station up to 3,000 troops, 5 warships, and 10 military aircraft on the other's territory. This enables mutual use of military bases, ports, and airfields for refueling, repairs, and supplies during peace and wartime. For Russia, RLOS provides unprecedented access to the Indian Ocean, boosting its power projection and offering a sanctions-era mobility pact. India gains access to crucial northern sea routes, diversifying its logistics network beyond Western influence and strengthening its Indo-Pacific presence. Analysts suggest it reinforces India's strategic autonomy and signals to the U.S. that its partnerships with Moscow and Washington are not mutually exclusive. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.